Alright folks, well it took a fair amount of work, but da-da! Yeah, so not only did I finish the room, as in I added a bunch of stuff, but I actually did the sorting system as well. It ended up being way easier than I thought. I used this mod, Refined Relocation. These relocators are super cool. They're sort of like red power pipes. So we step back here and we can just see that it's a really simple pipe network and it just routes closest first, and there's all sorts of stuff you can do. You'll note that a few of these, like this one, don't have, doesn't connect because there's no module in there. And if I just save this because there's a few more modules we can just toss in, and these are just overflow modules, right? So this one here just goes right there. And congrats, we have access to that. And this one could also use one too. Just like this, I've been pairing them and naming them and applying filters. Let me just go ahead and pull out the machines filter, one of the most complicated, to show you what's up. So it goes like this. Mods are on and ORDICT matching is off, but you can do all sorts of stuff. So this is mod matching whitelist, and it says only things that come from these mods can go in. Now, unfortunately, it's difficult to actually have more than one of these slots. There's only room for one, but the nice part about it is that what we can do with that is actually have, since they're remote modules, multiple input points if we need them with multiple filters. So it's not the best solution. It's a little kludgy, but it works. And of course, back here is just our power dispersing network. It's kind of smaller. We'll put other stuff in here as we go on. I think this is a pretty good relay station for power, and we're constantly consuming power, but we're making so much, right, that it pretty much doesn't matter. Really the main limitation right now is this medium voltage wire and the lossage we get along this very long line leading all the way over here. So then you can see I took the old ender chests used from the other ore processing system, which is currently disconnected, and I put it over here. Now, we can actually add some diverting points here. So eventually what we could do is maybe actually add a route to ore processing from here, which would be pretty slick, because right now we just have this bag, right? And we can just go boo-boo, and we could toss something in. So for example, this looks pretty fun. Let's toss in some redstone, right? And we could see that I'll get shuffled off, and if we follow it, it'll actually get sent down to the closest point, which is this one, which is metals, gems, quartz, and redstone, right? And we can see there we got a ton of stuff. Now, let me go upstairs and I will show you exactly how this is going to work, because it's pretty funny. Had a bit of a server issue there, which would have probably hurt this. Okay, but it's all fixed. Admin duties are done. So I've got another floating hopper hawk here, really fun thing, and that ender chest that you saw below, right? Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to throw things on the ground. That's right. In fact, it might be funny to just break it, because we could just toss things in. They'll just go to the right places. It doesn't even matter. And the hopper hawk is just sort of shoving things in there, right? And it's going to keep up pretty fast. So, we could break this, maybe this, that, and just toss this on the ground. Who knows where that'll end up? It'll be in the system. In fact, I sort of wonder what would happen if we were to say break this. Will that work? It did. I bet you it looks really cool down there. So yeah, in theory, we could just break this and all of it will go away. Look at that. How cool is this? Let's run down and see that happen. Yep, there we go. Now, one cool thing about this system is you can set the minimum stack size. So if we shift click, we can make this go faster. You can see now that it's actually pulling out 64 at a time as opposed to 16. The hopper hawk is the primary limitation here because it only moves things in groups of 16. But now we can actually pull out 64. And we can set this to 1 second between extractions to be nice on the server, but and this is just a right click, by the way. In the meantime, we're going to stay at half a second just to quickly get through the sorting. So all I have to do now basically is just break stuff and let the system sort itself out. There's overflow chests involved, so there's really since there's so much more capacity than our current storage, there's really no risk here, right? It's going to work. This is kind of fun, actually. This is actually really fun. It's just going to work. Oh, we do have to be a little bit careful about things hopping down over there. But, yeah, I mean, Have you ever fed your sorting system this way? I never have. Just toss these gold nuggets in. Who cares? They're all going to end up in there. And we can just watch the system just rip right through it. Now that it can do one full thing at a time. And now let's just go down there, you know, and be comfortable with what we're seeing here, because all our metal is in the system now, right? If we go here and just right-click, we can see tons and tons and tons of metal. It's kind of interesting to see it this way as opposed to in a barrel. I wouldn't have thought of it this way. It looks like less than it is, doesn't it? I mean, that was like a lot. And we could even go like this. I think we can show groups. I think we can actually make it go, you know, show in terms of groups. Another interesting thing is once you put in a remote storage model, you can actually cycle amongst various groups of things here that are in the same room. I wouldn't want to do that because it'll mess up the filters, right? Oops. But it definitely works. So I'm just going to go and keep breaking things and letting the Hopper Hawk and the system work it out, because it's actually really fun to do it this way. And then we'll have pretty much moved the majority of our stuff. We'll still have some machines and stuff up here, but we don't need them, strictly speaking. And I've also emptied this out because I now have a backpack. I have one dedicated unsorted system with 200 slots just for backpacking. So, I mean, like, that is really cool. So now I can just carry all the tools I need. No more worrying about, you know, having to juggle things in my backpack. Whole new place to lose things, I guess. But, you know, still, we should be happy with what we have and not be too down on ourselves, because this is a pretty cool setup. Off that goes. And, yeah, so, like, let's really commit here. Hoo-hoo-hoo. Oh. That's a little scary. Wow, that's not good. We are cooking a bunch of our wood. Look at how fast it has to go through these things. This is amazing. It's just sorting them out. It'll take a little bit of time, but eventually this system will just suck up everything. We should probably break this, just to make sure everything works. Okay, well, I won't bore you with any more of this. That was a little scary, though. But yeah, now we're in good shape. I can replace that system once we're done. But wow, exciting.